Yeah, right. Well, that's fantastic. This is supposed to be an eagle. Let's zoom in and see. It kind of looks like maybe an eagle. Like strange snout for an eagle, but anyway. Yeah. Right. 1 second, I'm just tinkering with things here. Yeah. So what do we got? Online again. Welcome. Anyone who's tuning in? I'm just gonna hang out here indoors. Nobody should be indoors on a day like this if it's the Eastern Seaboard and it's like 65 and beautiful out there. So anyway, I'm indoors because this is fine. I was outdoors all morning, and I have some fun things that I want to play with, so I came down here to do it. So what we're looking at here is a 1969 Teletype computer terminal, and I want to have it do some interesting things today. The specific area of things that I want to do that I think are going to be fun are to dive into some machine learning. There's this machine learning model from OpenAI called GPT-2, and it's like super powerful. It does ridiculously good or ridiculously kind of accurate, scary pastiches, or I don't know, generated text. You give it a little piece of text and it'll continue writing, and it'll kind of pretend to make sense. So let me find a browser window, and yeah, there's this stuff here up on GitHub, under OpenAI GPT-2, and their paper and etc., and a big blog post about it. So you can get this code, and they've released basically two versions of this model. One is small and one is medium, and they didn't release the large one because the large one I probably think is even scarier good. So they trained it on a lot of text, and basically the objective is, given something, predict the next word, and if you continue doing that, you end up with a pretty good approximation to human language. So there's a website, Talk to Transformer, where somebody has just put like an implementation of this online, and you can say, let's print some emoji, and that's the starting point, and then it'll just continue talking about whatever you started talking about. And it's a crazy bullshit machine. I mean, it has no sense to it. It doesn't have an opinion. Or at least, if it does, it's just completely synthetic. And so here, yeah, it just like some random thing. But it kind of makes sense. And actually, if you train it on the right stuff, because you can take this model and retrain it, if you train it on the right stuff, then you can create things that are scarily accurate. And somebody has done that on a Reddit thing that I won't even point to because it's just indistinguishable from the real thing, which is why it's scary, right? I don't know. I mean, anyway, so I want to play with this because it's just an interesting topic, and I think it is a bit worrying because this stuff is going to be used against us. So I want to get to know it a little before, to see if we can distinguish it. And also because it's text, right? It's just text. And maybe we could turn it into something good, like a game. So that's actually my goal here, is to turn it into a game. Not to do emoji, but I do want to print some more emoji, because why not? Let's try the couple kiss emoji and see if that looks good. And while it's thinking about that, I'm going to find a couple other web pages to dive into. So anyway, that's what's been on my mind recently, is this OpenAI thing. So what I did with it was basically, let's take all of the Teletype technical documentation, right? This stuff here, Bulletin 273, Bulletin 310, and they're very kind of boring text. Teletypers transmit and receive messages by means of binary permutation code, figures 1 and 2, and it's very long-winded, and it's actually like superb technical doc if that's what you want. And of course I didn't do anything with the pictures, but I took the scans from wherever they are on the line, and OCR'd them, and then took that text to train the AI, and yeah, then I retrained the AI on the technical terminal manual. So yeah, let's see what the results are. I posted a few like early results on Twitter, just because. Let's see if the couple kissing looks realistic. It should look pretty good, I think. You can zoom in there a little bit more, so you can see the mechanism as it prints around here. So, meanwhile, yeah, I'll show you all the stuff that I did with this thing, and yeah, we'll write some code, hopefully. Oh, it's a heart. Yeah, I think that's looking quite nice. It's like hearts within hearts. Yeah. So the emoji I'm just going to print and train. I mean, that's my only goal here. Is to produce fun things that you can buy on Etsy. And I'll do an art show with them at the Brickyard and stuff. Anyway, coming to you live and direct from the Brickyard in Lane, Massachusetts, on this beautiful spring day. There it is. Isn't that lovely? Is it really a couple kissing? I can see the heart. Can I see the faces? I don't know. You can almost make out the faces. Well, there's definitely a heart. Is it a couple kissing, or is it just like two dark blobs? Who knows? Yeah. These emojis are slightly random. Yeah. Okay. Well, there we are. There we are. Isn't that fun? Let me show you a few other things in the browser. So here's the training text. There's like nearly a megabyte of text, and it's like a copy of some of my website work, and then it's a kind of history of Teletype from a PDF, and then it's some of the technical manuals, and it's yeah, there's loads of it. A training manual from the General Telephone Company of Ohio. Anyway, all this is checked into my Git repo. Then to generate it, what I did was I went to the Google Collab thing, and let me reset this thing. This is basically somebody's project using a Python library called GPT-2 Simple, and if you go to the GPT-2 Simple webpage, you'll find a link to this notebook, and you can like use a Google GPU for free to retrain it. So you just like hit go on this thing, and it's a Jupyter Notebook style. Really kind of nice, actually. It made me think I should try and replicate this behavior of like an editor that does stuff interactively on the Teletype, but I don't know what that would really look like. Jupyter Notebook on the line mode display could be done. I mean, we have a text editor, we have a keyboard. Anyway, so yeah, I had this running last night, and I retrained the 345 main model for 10,000 cycles on this text that I showed there. And oh yeah, I should probably load it actually, because then if I oh no, I'm not going to load it. I'll do the main thing. Anyway, that's how I retrained it. Go play. It's really quite good. What it ends up with is this kind of text, which is: the tape punch is an all-metal suspension noise equipment which, through a pulley system, distributes motion to various areas of the typing unit. As though a power bale rocks during the first part of the function cycle. So this is totally in the style of these technical manuals, and it's completely meaningless. But it reads like it ought to make sense. So how do we get this to print out on the Teletype itself? Well, what I want to do is go to Amazon and start running an instance of this on US East 1, and I chose a G3S extra large, which is one of their GPU machines, and then I can go connect to this machine with SSH, and so I copied up the notebook, the model up to this thing. So let's go connect to it. SSH. And my identity file is ec2.pem. My user ID is ec2.user, and the IP address of this instance that's just running is 3.123. Oh, I turned on word wrap because I know we're going to need word wrap later. Noise system. Yeah, the stuff it comes up with is quite funny, actually. If you read it the right way, it's really funny. So let's SSH. We're connected now to Amazon. I'm going to adjust this thing if I can. Adjust this thing, that maybe. There we go. Yeah, so we're SSH'd into Amazon. And this is one of the Amazon like machine learning instances, one of their standard AMIs, and then I wrote a couple Python files, gen.py and web.py. I don't know if I have web.py here. I do, yeah. So web.py is here. But I think I need to update my web.py because I was playing with it earlier and trying to get it actually working. So from my MacBook. Oh no, I could do it from here. Oh, of course, I haven't actually, I haven't pulled this repo since I checked stuff into it. So, okay. Yeah, so here's this directory with some stuff in it. There's a generated subdirectory and web.py. I didn't want to asterisk, I want a colon. Oh no. Oh. Okay, this is not going to work. Oh, you want to say what file? Okay, let's try that again. So, oh, this is so much fun. Anyway, you're getting your noise fix of teletype machinery. Control P to hit the previous line. and oh, let's type the whole thing again. Yay! Alright, copied. Well, copied when it gets around to it. Okay. I'm going to get hundreds of lines of traceback. Oh no, just one. Okay. So. Okay, let's go up to Amazon, and here we are. Okay. Oh, actually, no. Let's do the generate kind of thing first. And I hope this is actually kind of the machine is prepped and everything. I think it more or less is. But this little Python script will test whether it is or not. And if it works, it'll give us a little piece of generated text using the model. So I copied the model file up here, and I installed all the various pieces of Python libraries that I think I want. And I wanted to run this on like my little tiny Raspberry Pi style machines, and they're just way too small. So I'll get this honking like 4, I don't know, gazillion gigabit Amazon machine instead. And it's not the biggest of the Amazon machines at all, it's the cheapest GPU machine. So it costs like 75 cents an hour to run it. So I'm going to spend a couple of bucks. So I think I can do that. So this says, start a TensorFlow session with the GPT-2 model. This is GPT-2 Simple, this library that you can find on PyPy. And it loads basically a checkpoint. If you just say the default parameters here, it loads up a checkpoint, and I've copied my checkpoint files that I created from this Collab notebook. The Collab notebook is kind of cool actually, because what it does is it writes these files, because it's running on Google's infrastructure, so it writes these files onto your Google Drive, and then you just download them. So I downloaded them, I copied them up onto an Amazon image, so I've got these things ready. So yeah, so it loads my checkpoint, and then from here it should be able to say generate text from this session, and the temperature is like how crazy do you want the text to be, because it's driven by a random number generator, and this controls like the profile of the distribution of the random number generator. And then you can have a prefix, which is what's the text it's going to start with. And so my prompt here is the prefix. So what's new around here? Or we could try something else. But let's try this one. And this is called gen.py. And we'll probably get some traceback, like diagnostics. And it's probably going to be quite noisy because it's Python. The CPU instructions that this TensorFlow binary is not compiled to use. That's okay. I hope it doesn't crash, because if it crashes it'll give an enormous traceback and we'll never find out what it's saying. So anyway, so Russ, how are you doing? How's your How's your Wheelwriter project and your terminal with a not quite a terminal project? Tensor compiler service something. I think this is okay. I don't think these errors are really bad. There must be, oh no, this might be really bad. Returning NUMA node 0. Oh no, that's okay. I've got a Tesla M60. That's an NVIDIA GPU. So let's discover the GPU. Ooh, thanks for the link. A YouTube link to see how your terminal works. Yay. That's awesome. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's really awesome. Oh, that's fantastic. And it's bidirectional. Oh, that's awesome. I gotta go, Higgs login. This is not you. Okay, get it. But it goes up and down. Yay, okay, yeah. I thought yours wasn't a brother, yours is something else. But, oh, it goes up and then it puts it back down so you can see where you were. His platen rolling, that is a great thing. Wow. Alright, nice note. Yeah, if only the teletype could go forwards as well as backwards. It would be kind of cool. So I'm going to bookmark that link and come back to it. Yeah, otherwise the text is hidden behind. Yeah, and at least here you can just like put the lid up and it's really easy to see what you're printing with because the print head doesn't get in the way. Now, is this all good messages? This is a lot of messages. Yeah, this is all good messages. It's a GPU with 8 gigs of memory. It's a Tesla M60. Yeah, let us know. Post a video as soon as you have one. Because these are amazing devices. Really, really nice. Oh right, there's probably a way to turn off the TensorFlow debug messages. There has to be a way. Alright, but now it's loading my checkpoint. And it's going to complain. It's going to complain about something. As long as it doesn't completely break, I'm quite happy with let this all print. Yeah, deprecated bits of Python. We don't really care. Alright. So yeah, here in Boston it is the best day of the year so far, and I feel slightly bad for being indoors on such a beautiful afternoon. But I'm fascinated with this GPT-2 stuff, so I want to keep going with it until I have some printed results, and even I want to maybe connect them to the Twitch bot. We'll see if the Twitch bot can actually work. I think it should. So okay, I maybe shouldn't have turned on word wrap. I mean, it's nicer with word wrap on, but otherwise you just like bang into the end of the line. Anyway. So my word wrap is not entirely perfect. It overprints like the last character, and I think I just have to live with that. So, oh ho ho ho, we're here. So what's new around here? And then it prints the thing that it... Well, the 3130 kit features a new cover that combines the convenience of a platen with the mobility and durability of a platen. The platen cover slides open to expose the platen basket, which is protected by the cover. It can then be emptied using the knob and spindle. And this, like, fairly laboured kind of let's describe anything in ridiculous detail is exactly how these manuals sound. It's like controlled by the code bar mechanism. A function mechanism enables the typing unit to perform something supplementary to printing. The standard function, I mean, it's like the same style. So this is state-of-the-art AI for natural language processing, running on an Amazon GPU, but from a teletype. So next we're going to make it, like, wire it up to be exposed on the web. So what I did here actually is on the Amazon EC2 instances, I made myself a little security group that has a port exposed to the web, and so this is only for temporary play. So I can get away with, like, I'm going to expose port 5599 from anywhere as a TCP/IP port incoming, so I can run a web server. And then I can call it. And the web server code is basically just a completely the simplest possible Python web server that says if I get, and then there's a specific beginning of the path that you need to begin with, but anything after that is like the text. And it'll go generate some text and return it. So that's what I hope to do. Maybe it was written by a machine in the future. Yeah, it's scary. It's like, this is the scary thing about this stuff. It's very, very difficult to distinguish it from the real thing. And especially if you're not completely in the community or the talk that you're expecting. So if you're coming into something from the outside, it's really, really hard to tell if it is this true or not. And so yeah, here's the Reddit example that I was talking about. There's somebody put a simulation of the Culture War Roundup, which is basically, they trained it on Reddit Culture War and had it spit out relatively controversial topics and responses. And all of these are machine generated. And it looks like people arguing. It looks like, I mean, this is machine-generated text. This is not some group of people on Reddit discussing things. This is completely simulated by the GPT-2 medium model, not by the big one they haven't released yet, but the medium one, and it's scary good. You can't tell unless you're, like, very well educated in the path. So WarioFam 111. Where do you want me to start? Let me start at the beginning. This is a computer terminal from The Scott Paikin complaint generator. I'm not. No. You have to point me to it or talk about it. So, Wario Fan 111. This is a computer terminal from the olden days, built in 1969, and before it was really cheap to have computer screens, you had a terminal that was hard copy. So, on the very first Unix machines, this was the terminal that you used to access it. Now, if you open a terminal window these days, like here's a terminal window, you've got a keyboard and a screen. And it's exactly the same as this. This is the physical keyboard and the screen. But it's hardware. And so this is connected to a little Raspberry Pi style machine that then I've used just to jump off to Amazon. And on Amazon, what I'm doing is generating synthetic text using the OpenAI model. And so this is kind of made up text. It's making this stuff up as it prints. And the model has been trained on the Teletype user doc, which the technical manuals here are wonderful and highly detailed and very pedantic. They're actually quite hard to read. So I retrained the OpenAI model on this stuff, on like 4 books of this that I scanned and OCR'd, and this is what it comes out with. You can have it print anything in any useful way. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. It's a Teletype Model 33 producing synthetic text. Does it make sense? If the teletypewriter is removed from the power pack for any reason other than start-stop, the message relaying system is disabled. Manual answer button must be initiated to regain the message relay status. So that's okay, it kind of makes sense. It doesn't really mean anything. The teletypewriter set shown in the circuit shop is equipped with a mechanical answer back mechanism. This section will describe its operation. Alright, I've got to click the Paikin link here. Paikin's complaint generator, which I don't think I've seen before. And it's a complaint generator. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. No, I hadn't seen that before, and that's kind of cool. Just substituting text in. I mean, the thing about this, yeah, from Usenet era, absolutely. The thing about the OpenAI stuff is it really comes up with random sentences, but also with like a structure over this whole paragraph, this whole like 1,000 words of text. It's going to have a really decent kind of it truncates at the end, but it's like it all makes sense, and sometimes there's a thread of stuff going through it, but there we are. Where did it start? So what's new around here? Well, it features a new cover that has convenience and etc. Due to manufacturing tolerances, the knuckle, which fits into the slot of the pattern basket in the proper section, etc. So really, I don't want this amount of text. I want little amounts of text because I want to put them into the chat. So that's my end point, is I want to have the Twitch bot put them in the chat. So to that end, I created this Python web.py, and if I'm right, I should be able to run it from here. From my EC2 machine. So there's web.py. So can I run it? I want to run it with no hup so that I can then disconnect. And we'll have to like cap the output. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. Okay. So it didn't work. I'm going to have to edit my file. Okay. Well, luckily you have the best editor. So I want to look for temperature. Temperature 0.75. What line am I on? Oh, sorry, with numbers. I'm on line 19. Print like 10 lines, see where we are. Oh yeah, so this is like the dumbest web server ever. It has one thread, and that thread is going to hog my GPU for whole seconds. So luckily I'm only going to call it once at a time. So I put a lock around it. So, length 250. Oh, there's two temperature lines. Oh, there we are. But apart from that, I think everything's fine. So let's go 19... delete 19. You made a complaint letter about Microsoft. Yes. About any particular part of Microsoft. Let's see if this thing's running. I think it's running. Yeah, it's giving me my TensorFlow messages. So, the test then is, with this web server running, can I ping it? I don't know what the B is. I think it's got to be some, like, ASCII high character. I don't know. Maybe it's curly quotes? Or backticks, I'm not sure. So I think this thing's running, my web server's running. Now I don't have screen on this terminal or tmux, so I can't like switch between logical sessions. So that's why I wanted to start this thing with no hop. Then I'll like exit. I'll log out of the machine and go try ping it from with curl, I guess. Okay. Well, I could ping it with curl, or I could actually just ping it, like, from a web browser. if I know the IP address, then I can just ping it from a web browser. I don't remember my IP address. Where is this thing? It's got 3.93. something. Well, let's try it. HTTP 3.93. Okay, I think this is working. Okay. It's all just fine. Let's go to a browser and see what happens. It's spinning. You can't see the thing, but the thingy is spinning. So it's definitely thinking about it. The IP address is on the paper. It is. It's up the top here. It's thinking about it, and is it going to return something? Please? And so basically, yeah. Oh, I think I got it wrong. No, it's not. Okay. Let's see. Well, that's okay. Oh, yeah, I got the address completely wrong. It has a port. It has a special port number. And the port number is 5599. And now it's spinning again. You can't really see that the tab. Oh, you can't see the tab at all. Just because the way I have the window positioned. It is thinking about it. And there we are. Oh my goodness. This is how we roll. Felled blade moves back and forth, cutting into the paper. Felled blade never cuts into the paper. Carrying capacity may vary. So there you go. This is synthetic text over the web. Okay. So can we, now that this web server is running, we log out of here and keep it running, and this dot what shall I say? What shall I ask it? So I need like a prefix for the generated text. And the generated text could be anything. It could be like a recipe or a poem, or I could just say a poem. And I want to put a plus instead of a space, because otherwise it won't work right. Into the URL. Let's try that. And it'll take a few seconds, because even with a honking GPU with gazillion processors on it and terabytes of memory, it's going to take its time to think about this thing. Every poem is a cautionary tale. But it's very good at lists. Like, the whole style of these technical manuals is that every paragraph has got a number in front of it. So that's what we can expect here. All right. So I guess you guys could ping that address yourselves, because it's open to the web. It can only do one generate at a time. They'll just lock. They'll just queue up one behind the other. But you should actually be able to ping that URL in exactly like from a browser yourself. Let me know if you do. I mean, paste it into the chat or something if you get there. This is not very poetic, though, the text. It's very, like, technical manually. So, it's working. We have... right. Okay. This is really not a poem. I think I have to do another one. Private business. It's like a technical manual. It's not a poem at all. Let's try a different poem. See if we can get a better one. Instead of ensuring minimum employee distraction, the DS2000 must be accompanied by one telephone charger that offers a nominal 150-foot service range and a silent operation. Oh no, it's even worse this time. Oh no, it's definitely even worse. Okay. So meanwhile, while this is printing, interesting and important modifications. Yeah. Okay. So here's the final piece of the puzzle is we've got this Twitch bot, and it's not a very basically it handles messages and it handles commands and prints them out. And what I want to do is take the last message that you put into Twitch and use that as the prompt for one of these. And that may be slightly overkill because we get a lot of text and it's like it takes a long time to produce it. But I think it may be worth doing. So I'm going to go edit some of this this TwitchBot code. And meanwhile, feel free to go. I'll put that URL into the chat. I'm going to put that URL into the chat. So if you want to like click it, you could try it. And it may kill the server, but it'll just be slow, I think. That's the main thing. So meanwhile, I'm going to go edit this TwitchBot code. So let me know if you hit that URL and if it returns anything. Just paste it into the chat because I want to see the variety of results that you get, especially if they're good ones. The meaning of life. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's not bad. It's not totally incoherent. Alright, so I'm going to switch between this thing and here. And what I want to do with this bot class is when there's a message down here, like here, then I want to just add the recent message into an array, so that I maintain like a history of what's been said recently. And so I think up here, if I go to line 37, it says self.quiet equals quiet, and I want to append here I've got no messages in. Okay, and then on line 45 or something. Let's see what it says. If not quiet or the content starts with playing, then I just print it to the terminal. This wait for message thing, I might even, it says wait until the terminal is printable, so that's okay. So in line 45, in front of line 45, I can add the message to my array. And then in Python, messages is an array, so I want to say append, to append a string to it. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm typing. I want to append, and then what I want to append is the message.author.name, because we definitely want to use the message author name, and the message content. Okay. All right. And okay. Then down on here I want to add a new command called what shall I call it? GPT-2, I guess. So down around line 64 now, I suppose. Yeah, there we are. just going to copy from the previous thing. Oh, it smells good, this thing does. GPT there. So here I want to say requests.get, I guess. I'm just going to practice in a terminal. And I think this is probably all I need. No, .text. Yeah, that'll do. So requests.get .text. So I best say what the URL is at some point, but GPT text. I think that's it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Now, what was that URL I was going to add? The URL. This is where copy and paste would be really useful. 3.93.163.156. And I don't mind that this is hard coded and it's going to go away after this session. It's I'll make it generic at some point. ASR33, bro. Okay. So there's my basic URI, and I want to append the most recent of my self.messages, or actually maybe the last 3 of them. So I can't remember how to do that. So if I go back in here, if I say, let's say my messages are this, then I can say A:2. Nope, that's the first 2. :-2. No. -2:. Yay! Okay, so that's the last 3. Okay, A-5:: is... okay, great. So that's what I want. I want messages -5 colon. And I want to join them with a plus. So a new line. Actually, I want to join them with a new line. Dot. And then my thing there said -5 colon. So let's do -5. That should work. Like the last 5 lines of chat. So there's 1, 2, I mean that long one that you've put about the meaning of life, 3, the URL, 4, IP addresses on the paper, etc. 5 lines of chat is plenty. Okay. Where's that? So that's my string, and I have to encode the string, and to encode, where's my how to encode strings cheat, because I did this earlier today. It is unquote, it is quote plus, I think. Let's try. From urlib.quote oh sorry, it's not a URL get, it's URL parse. Yeah, that's URL escaping in the right way. So it's from URL parse import quote plus, and then it's quote plus of that. So Control H didn't work, but anyway. Quote plus MS. Right. Okay, let's see. Did it work? Well, here's my listing. And the Control 8 thing may have completely busted, so we'll fix that if we need to. There's my URL. Now my messages are... Oh, I missed a parentheses at the end of that line. And I have this U quote plus thing that is busted there. So I have to go edit this. And I have to add some text at the end of it. Okay. Alright, let's go fix these. Oh, maybe it did. Okay. It just didn't print it. Okay, I think my internet speed is flaking. I'm dropping frames like flies here. Sorry about the glitchiness, audio glitchiness, etc. I've got glitchy internet here. Okay. All right. Well, what can I do to fix the glitchy internet? Nothing. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Instead, let's go next line. That's right. That's right. And now I need a new line. Or maybe even two. Okay. And then let's go up to the top of this file. Because I need to do these imports that I forgot, and I want to go to line 12 or so, and say import requests, and from URL lib import quote plus. Alright, I think this is it. I think this is it. Let's see. Okay, no horrible syntax errors. And this works. Okay, it does. Say something on the chat. If I put ping bell. What is hello was not found? Oh, no, bell. Bell without an O on it. Pling bell rings the bell. But just say stuff in chat. And the last 5 lines of chat are going to be sent to the AI to construct something for us to discuss. Well, I need your suggestions here too. So, and then we'll see if it actually works by hitting the command. And the command is going to be, I forget what we called it. Pling GPT-2. But let's do that in a second. Come on, somebody. Hey, Russ, just type something. Who else is on? I can't see my list. Can you get... Oh, nice. Should we do this? Pling GPT-2? Yeah, what do you think? Is it ready to do this? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. And nothing happens. All right. At least nothing bad. There's no traceback, at least. Yet. Uh-oh. There's a traceback. Uh-oh. There's a traceback. Okay. Oh well. Okay. Okay, well, so that's fine. Huh. Huh. Okay. I better, like, go edit stuff here. Length of message cannot be greater than 500. Oh, so that just means it got too much of a message back. Oh, so I think we're okay. It just got like too long a message. So while this is running, we can go up to the web server and like fix it. Yeah, let's just go up to the web server on Amazon. I think it's just like, it's complaining because my message is too long. But I think also my message is going to include the prefix. So when you put yours in, what's the meaning of life? ... It didn't like strip out the prefix the way I wanted it to. So I want to have it strip the prefix and then... yeah, okay. And then only get up to 500 characters or less. So that might take a little bit of shenanigans. And how am I going to get these shenanigans? I'm going to go on iTerm window and SSH to ECT user at this IP address. Okay, here's my machine. Am I allowed in? Yes. Now I can use a visual editor because here we are. So GPT, here's my text. Okay. So instead of this, I'm going to say the last 500 characters of it. And then here, let me see, my Python's not super awesome, so let's say I have a string, this thing here, that's my prompt. And that's my next thing. Then I want to say A, the last 20 of A, let's say, just like in case the front of it gets chopped off. Let's take the last bit of that and say, is that in B? Yes. Okay. Index of, is that a thing? No. I can't. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. A colon minus 20. REPLs are wonderful development tools. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Yeah. B, index, A minus 20. No, so there's B. There's A. A. Yeah, that should be in B. My Python ought to be better. String find, according to my Googling. Let's try that. Okay. Let's try that. No. Why is it not finding my thing then? A colon minus 20 is ABC. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted A minus 20 colon. There we are. Right, I want to find the end of the A string in B. Okay. Alright, so 12 plus 20 is, that's going to chop it off. Okay, right, so. Did that make sense? It made sense to me. I have no idea if it made sense to you. So what I want to do is here, single text equals what do I do? Want to do? I think that. Oh. If I have my position, and I've got a huge lag on this thing. I don't know if it's because my machine's busy. Anyway, pos equals this thing. Now, there was going to be start. There's my start string. This is the position of it. And that position plus 20 is where I'm going to start from. And I'm going to get the rest of the string. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Let's kill 5296, which is my web server. Okay. There's my web server. Let's go up here and I say hello bot, and in the browser say hello bot, and it's spinning, So hopefully the thing is actually running. And if I look here, I see it actually is running. And then it's going to take forever. Because this, despite being a huge GPU powered thing, is actually not wicked fast. But let's see what it returned. And it chopped more than I wanted, but anyway. What terrible destiny awaits you in the far reaches of the web? I think it's working. And if it's working, we should be able to tell it so from here. And come on, nothing's happening yet. I put GPT-2 playing in the chat, in the Twitch chat, and sure enough, it works. We have a Twitch bot that uses GPT-2, trained on the Teletype technical manuals, to respond based on our last conversation. So if you talk about REPLs being wonderful development tools, so Russ, I think you have to go hit the exclamation mark GPT-2, but you got to type some more stuff into the chat first, because I want to see this from the receiver's end of, like, I'm just sitting here in chat. If you type pling GPT-2, then how does it appear? Okay. Well. And we can do exclamation mark bell. Oh. I think we both hit it at the same time. Awesome. Okay. And nothing much happens. There's a lot of delay. And oh no! Oh wow! Oh, that is quite something. And on here, of course, I've got a huge traceback because the bot has no exception handling. Yeah, we have to wait this one out. But there you go. The thing you can see in the chat is it says GPT-2, da-da, here we go. GPT-2, da-da-da. And then somewhere it says GPT-3 because it learned from the technical manuals that you've got to count. It learned to count from some of its training. So, GPT-2 color was not found. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about this Twitch bot altogether. It's like, it's an async Python thing, async IO, and that's way too hard for me. Yeah. Well. Lots of traceback. Oh well. I should stick to, like, repeatable things. and add in vast amounts of exception handling any time that it's likely that there's like anything could possibly go wrong, it will. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to take a photograph of some of this stuff, because this is like real. Yeah. Absolutely, it is. It is going to last forever. The traceback is tracebacks are really important. Your history never disappears off the hard copy. I think I want to do like one more of these. Do you want to try it again? I want to have some success. And I've no idea. There's a command not found, GPT2 colon. Oh, I know what happened then. Oh, that's interesting. The traceback says command not found GPT2 colon. So it sent this message as a result of your text-to-speech system in 0.5 seconds one, and then it reinterpreted that as another command, and because it got the exclamation mark. So I have to take exclamation marks out of the thing unless, oh, I don't know. Do you want to try it again? Try pling GPT-2 again. I'm just going to post a little picture of this thing on Twitter, because I can. Alright, let's see what it does. Yes. Yes. So I'm not going to post this photo. I'm going to do a whole new photo. It has a modem that growls. It growls COM2 every time a character is printed, which has its ups and downs in the analog sense. Wow, that's really intense. That's really amazing. It has a... it growls. I want to see more of this poem. Wow. Wow, well, I think we got it working, didn't we? Is it to be more concise? Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think natively you can. It works on a 1K buffer, basically. So it always produces 1,000 symbols. Like words, because each word is encoded. It's a one-hot encoding of, like, each word is a symbol, I think. And so the buffer that the GPU produces contains like 1,000 or 1,023, and then they're decoded. So you get 1,000 words of text, and then you just have to like truncate it. So yeah, then you have to just truncate it. So it's no faster to produce lots of text up to 1,000 words than it is to produce short text. It doesn't speed it up any. And then if you want to produce longer text, then you do kind of an overlap and add kind of approach of take the first chunk and then feed some of that back into the second chunk, and some of it's totally made up, right? And the modem has Everspace expansion enabled, but Everspace is not in the training material. But the answer back mechanism totally is. It's all over it. But answer back reducers, that's a made up thing. And the answer back drums are driven by the KB synchrotron oscillator, and it's figured out abbreviation, because there's so many like abbreviated things in the training materials. It keeps coming up with like random new abbreviations. And I also want to add like random pieces of text chat in here of words that would never appear in the training material. Like awesomely is not in the training material, but I want it to be in the trigger. I want it to be in the prompt so that we see what does it generate from there. So let's do another one. The operator can disable the drum by depressing, and sometimes it'll do these things that are more like its basic training. So it's been trained on all sorts of random web stuff, and so occasionally you come up with things that are really not like a technical manual. But this is definitely technical manual material. All caps. All rules. Signaled operation, all caps, just in case you didn't completely get it. When the all caps symbol appears on the control lever, the operation of the character selector mechanism is the same as that described in 1610.005. Type B control lever. It's like, this is the way that the manuals are written. But it's complete nonsense too. it's such nonsense. So yeah, we should just keep this going, I think. I mean, yeah. Now it's fun, right? Almost coherent is exactly right. I mean, this is the scary thing to me. It's like, it is so nearly coherent and so meaningless. And even when it's like super coherent and it has a thread and it has topics that begin and then it talks about something else, then it returns to the original topic, it really feels coherent. But there's no there. It's not goal-oriented. I mean, at least some of the professional bullshitters in this world are goal-oriented, whether you think their goals are stupid or not. This is not really goal-oriented. Strong pattern seers, yeah. Well, that's the other interesting thing, isn't it? It's like, can you? I don't know. It feels very naturalistic in a way because of that. Like, what's his name? There was a comedian, Scottish comedian. What's his name? Famous guy from a while ago. But he had this magical kind of capability of telling a completely fabulous story that began, and he'd go off on 15 tangents and then come back to the beginning and like close the loop, and you'd realize that he'd had all these threads and he brought them all back together again. It does some of that through this pattern recognition kind of stuff. It's like, it's powerful. It's really powerful and worrying and fun and crazy and funny. And yeah, this is how we are. This is how we're built. So hi, Sweaty Butt Cake, please ping it again. I mean, yeah, we got to. It takes the last 5 lines of chat. So we've only got 3 of human chat. So it'll take some of its previous stuff as well. But let's keep it going. Yeah. And also, there's some Twitch stuff. You can cheer in my channel. I don't know what that means even. There should be a button on the chat that says cheer now to be number 1, because nobody has ever cheered in my channel before. But please do, so that I see what it does, because I just got like new features on Twitch, and I don't know what they do yet. Anyway, so I'm having enormous fun today. We actually achieved something, which is running like the Teletype machine with the Twitch bot, and you can contribute. Please do dive in, and then if you say pling GPT-2, it's gonna generate its own. So meanwhile at the Brickyard, which is the location I'm at, meanwhile at the Brickyard, there's actually, it's a very quiet afternoon here because it's so sunny outside. So I'm going to do this and say pling GPT-2 and see how it handles the it's sunny outside thing. It'll take a little while, but because it's so sunny, like, there's nobody else here. I get peace and quiet, we get to hang out, and... Oh no, this is not very good text. Okay, well... Oh, of course, because it takes the pling thing itself. Oh... So the exclamation mark got used in the training, or in the prompt. Yeah, that's not useful. We don't need the exclamation mark in the prompt. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. In order to cheer, you've got to buy bits from Twitch. Okay. Weekly top cheer. No, nobody has cheered. Because I don't even know how to. So yeah, this is how Twitch monetizes stuff. Yeah. So yeah, okay. That's how Twitch does things. Okay, so I think we have to go edit the code and take out. So I'm gonna stop. No, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop the program until... Thank you. So I'm going to go back on here and connect back to this machine again. And change the web server code. So in this... Oh no, it's not on the web server, it's the Twitch bot, isn't it? Ha ha ha. Well, that didn't work. I mean, that's kind of funny, but it didn't really work. And you notice the underscores. The underscores come out as back arrows. So, yeah. I think your line breaks didn't appear or something. But also, underscores don't print the same because they're back arrows on the keyboard. And so, like, Figlet style big text doesn't really doesn't work the way you want it to. So do I want to edit the Twitch bot and remove those remove the commands? I think maybe I do, yeah. And I have to go find out where my stuff was that I wrote. I wrote, I think, on the 43 line 43 to 55. I put this thing. Oh, yeah, line 45 to something. So this is where a message comes in. And I add my messages thing straight away. And then I do this test that says, is it like a, does it start with a pling? And if it doesn't start with a pling, then just print it. So I want to move that self.messages.append inside of the if statement because I don't want commands to be part of the text. So, this is 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. Okay. I want to edit line 48. So I want to move this after 49. And let's see if that works. Okay. If it doesn't start with ding, okay, then I need to indent this line here. So 47, 48, 49. So let's make sure I'm on 49. And there we are. Okay. Okay, it's ready again. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like his stuff, and it's a different generation of teletype machinery, and I don't have any hands-on experience with that stuff, but it's those machines are incredible. They're more heavy-duty than this one by some distance. Should we try the Pling GPT-2 again? Somebody, Russ or Schweddy Buttcake, or anybody else who's there, you should try this. Pling GPT-2. Oh, that's funny. I don't even remember his accent. Ah. Okay, hit the GPT-2. I want to see the thing. But I don't want to be the one like. And I'm not controlling it from the keyboard because we're not actually we're not sending Twitch commands from the terminal. Just because the Twitch bot is not like that yet. And it looks like my internet is super flaky again. Sorry for the dropout. Wow. Well, that is a whole other thing. Mood shifting force Apollos. Where did that come from? This is certainly not from the training manuals. Oh, this is awesome. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that could be it. And look at the way that it completed, is that it gives me the Opera 2-nitty, and it just continued where it left off. That's awesome. I think it works, people. And now we can see that we're getting into teletype realm stuff here, because it's talking about like equipment company and new corporate base of operations, and some of this is from the training set. So I think the more that you go on with less prompted, then the more it's going to revert to its training. Yeah. Wow. I mean, this is... Right. So you can hopefully steer it. So, if I steer it by putting, how about a nice recipe for chocolate cake or lemon tea, then it certainly knows those things. Yeah, there we are. And it kind of reset. I'm glad to hear it. But it does, like, it wants to talk about active I/O pins and data channels and diesel ribbons and the input of the PC to the Teletype distributor. We couldn't get it onto cookies for long enough. It wants to have a surprise for the bride and groom, but then, like, bang, it's back into the training material. This is amazing. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is the GPT-2 345 meg train set. It's the most powerful AI for natural language that I know of. And I think it'll tell you how to do cookies. Let's see if we can steer it into some like other random direction. How could we steer the generator? What could we steer it towards? We can steer it to actually any topic at all, but keep it family friendly. Don't start it on paper tape. Yeah, and so it's weird to like. So you can run this for $2 an hour, and you can train it on anything for free, right? You can. I mean, I retrained it for like 10 hours yesterday. I kicked off a training run first thing in the morning. Then I edited the training text a little bit in the evening after work and kicked off another run, and it was done by like 11:30 or something. So it's like I gave it 5 or 6 hours of training on a megabyte of data, and it cost $0. And then I'm running this on Amazon on the smallest of their GPU machines, and it's 75 cents an hour. So for next to no money, you can generate vast amounts of synthetic text. So what are you going to do? I mean, are we going to be inundated? Yeah, I will. Thank you. But are we going to be like completely inundated with randomly generated stuff that interjects itself in the middle of our conversations, and that we can't tell if it's somebody trying to be helpful or if it's just a bot? Because I think we're there already. The economics of bots are so stupidly cheap. And, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Turn it off when the first RRR is heard 12 times. Take it out when the last W is heard 4 times. Just before it goes into repeat mode 32 times. Choral requisitions when the Chancellor is in the middle of his requiem. Yeah. It's very random. Yeah, I think the spammers are a fairly big economy. I mean, I think they know it. It's just a question of where are they going to target it. Obviously, it's on Twitter already. Especially, I mean, the place that we've had these weaponized bots working against us already is in anything that looks political. Anytime there's an election coming up, etc. But I think the economics of it are crazy. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to run it, really. Amazon and Google and everybody has enough free GPUs. But what's the good side? Okay, so there's the catastrophe. What's it good for? What's this good for? Well, I gotta zoom out, right? So I gotta zoom out. This is what it's good for. It's good for a little toy for keeping us entertained on a sunny afternoon in fairly empty little place around here. Yeah, but even the teletype stuff that it's trained on now. I mean, I've published the model because why not? So maybe the spammers will spam us on teletype-based stuff. But even the teletype stuff is such nonsense. the teletype content is it's not real. It's so synthetic. So I think actually this is really good for translation. I mean, in theory, it's a really it's one of the, because it learns stuff that nobody else has time to learn. It's creepily good. It's creepily good. Wow. We're doing natural language AI over here.
This is what is currently used, but it's too open. I need to have it go through
Sure.
a line. But so one of the things that I'm trying to do. Did you see my soda machine?
No. All right. Chat amongst yourselves. I'm going to go look at the soda machine. Yeah.
If you're in the middle of stuff, I'd really.
We're online here.
Okay. So I got these things. So it's the tabletop soda machine. Uses small surface picks. It has its own carbonator unit, refrigeration unit. And this is the control unit. Yeah. So this is the existing control unit. So I want to do this like Arduino. So program it against the device display. It's pretty dumb. Well, yeah, there's a driving function, but actually, technically, well, then this is an additional unit. Yeah, so most vehicle sensors are just on. And then there's dosers, which runs electromagnet to do a dose. And in fact, if you're using your Arduino, about and they're actually yeah. I can draw a schematic. Yeah. And it's all just one protocol the coolest thing about it is for the refrigeration, figure out when it is cold enough. The carbonator has a little swirly thing, and it cools from the outside in, so that means it's a layer of ice. Carbonated water conducts electricity. Sensor, once the ice covers the sensor, ice does not conduct electricity, and it says that's cold enough, and it shuts it off.
I like low-tech sensors. I love low-tech sensors. Yeah. Now, what does it say? I wonder if you can get an Ethernet drop to your workspace. Yeah, we have Wi-Fi, and so I haven't investigated where's the cable. But I think it's just we're in suburban Lynn, Massachusetts. There's no amazing Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So we're talking here about soda machines. Building a soda machine controller with an Arduino, which sounds like that's a great project. I think we should probably sign off. Let's do a little bit more. I want to send this in one more direction just to see. Can we something? Yay! Love it. Yes. I'm going to ping it again. Let's see how it handles your wireless and wires, because it might talk about Ethernet. I mean, it's certainly been trained on things that know about Ethernet, and my training material predates that. But yeah. And then I think we'll sign off. It is still sunny outside, and I'm going to go meet some people, and we're going to hang out and sit out in the sun, which is even an answer back feature. I think it's time we started thinking about features and user experiences in a similar way. So let's say you're designing a service that lets you have internet for free. What makes it a feature is that it does away with the need for special software tanners. Who could do good work for? Could do the work. And I wonder who Gordon McKinnon is. I don't know. So anyway, this has been awesome. We've succeeded in wiring GPD2 up to a switch box using a teletype. Then have them all send out the same packet. If the dial gets enough calls in a row, the dial is manned, and the station goes into an AP mode, sending out packets every AP second. Wow. AP datasets at home can switch this traffic back to the dialysis pulses, like as you do. As you can see, this feature was in the specification for years, before Alan Kay wrote the Network Operator's Guide to AD. I wonder, when did Alan Kay write the Network Operator's Guide to AD? Wow. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to turn off the machinery. And I'm going to turn off my Amazon instance, so that endpoint is going to go away. But I'm going to keep the paper, and actually the paper goes on my Etsy store, so whoever decides that they want it bad enough. And if nobody buys it for a couple of weeks, then I'll frame it. Yeah, thank you. Good hanging out with you. This is enormous fun, as always. And now get outside while it's still light. Yeah, thanks Russ. Thanks everybody for hanging out. This was really quite a thing. Yep. Very awesome. And I'll see you online next time. Bye.